What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of BMSL. I am your host, Ghost, and today we're going to be talking about John and Kate +8 and their messy divorce. But before we get into that, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It is the only form of support that I have right now, and thank you for all the subscribers that I've gotten in the last couple weeks. It's been phenomenal, from 29 subscribers to 73. Oh, geez, I can't thank you guys enough. But before we actually get into it, guys, we used to watch this as kids growing up because we were shocked that somebody else had a lot of kids as well. So I grew up with 9 brothers and sisters, including me, that's 10. So there was a lot of us, right? But no one else that we knew had a family this size, right? And so we looked at John and Kate +8 as something or a family that we could kind of relate to. Come to find out, everything was fake, right? So, many of you guys probably have heard or tuned into a lot of the documentaries. I'm not going to try to make this video that long because you can go and get in-depth context from other channels, but we are going to cover just the bare minimum of detail that you guys need to know. So without further ado, let's get into it. From 2007 to 2017, John and Kate +8 captivated audiences with his intimate portrayal of the Gosselin family life. John grew up in the suburbs of Reading, Pennsylvania, and Kate grew up in the small town of Hershey, Pennsylvania, and as they were married between 2007 and 2009, they brought in a whopping $186 million per quarter thanks to their huge family.
And you know what's funny? The network thought I was nuts. They actually hired me a therapist and a psychiatrist, and they psychovalved me.
Why did they think you were nuts?
Because I would give up millions of dollars not to film and just go live a normal life. I said enough was enough. And then I didn't understand why they kept on doing this. And then I found out we made them $186 million a quarter. When you're making, $186 million a quarter for a company, you can't just go quit. So the CEO's got to explain to their shareholders, the president, why the shares dropped.
This groundbreaking reality show followed John and Kate Gosselin alongside their 8 children, offering viewers a rare glimpse into their daily struggles and triumphs. As the series progressed, it reflected not just the joys of a growing family, but also the challenges that came along with fame. The couple's highly publicized divorce marked a turning point, raising questions about the impact of reality TV on their children. In the years that followed, John made a return to the television landscape, opening the door to new narratives surrounding his family's experiences. In this video, we will delve into the complexities of suburban families, or more specifically, the Gosselin family journey, examining the public's perception that TLC put together. We will uncover the deeper issues at play and shed light on its effects it's had on John and the family as a whole. You may point out that I only said the reported ratings between 2007 and 2009, but that's because, unknown to the world until recently, John and Kate have been going through a difficult time in their marriage between balancing their own personal lives, TV lives, and love life. As you know, something had to give. According to John, he had a gag order put in place by TLC in order not to ruin the ongoing show his wife was still participating in.
Well, I had the gag order for 10 years. And that was put in place by, one, TLC. And then family court as well, to protect the kids.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah, it was reasonable. But then it just kind of dragged out as they got older, and then rumors were cropping up anyway. But it got to a point where I couldn't defend myself because Kate's show continued.
John and Kate met in October of 1997. He was 22 and just got back from backpacking, and she was 24. Apparently, she said she wasn't going to leave wherever they were until she had spoken to him, and she did just that. At the time, he had a girlfriend, but that didn't stop quote-unquote love from rearing its ugly head, and shortly after, they were engaged and then married in June of 1999. Due to polycystic ovary syndrome, Kate had a very difficult time conceiving children, but eventually she did give birth to twins in October of 2000. For John and Kate though, they wanted more children, but due to Kate's infertility, they were forced to use IVF, or in vitro fertilization. This can wreck anybody's finances, but John loved his wife, so he elected to try it out. According to Forbes Health, IVF can cost anywhere from $15,000 to $30,000, and that's just one treatment. One treatment, that's crazy. Considering many people go through cycles, it's a miracle how John was able to still care for his ever-growing family. From 1999 to 2009, everything seemed to be going well for the couple. Until one day, according to John and other reports, Kate asked him for a divorce randomly. She claims he allegedly didn't want to do the show anymore, and he didn't want to go along with her plans for life anymore.
She approaches you. She wants a separation. What did you say?
I was like, it was out of the blue too, because I was sitting at the dining room table, and I was just like, what are you talking about? She's like, I'm done. I don't want this anymore. You know, you don't want to film. You don't want to go along with my plan and filming and the kids and this and the house. And I'm like, nope, I don't.
Nah, that's definitely wild for sure. For sure. In May of 2009, US Magazine reported that John was afraid Kate was having an affair with her bodyguard. But this is Kate's brother we're talking about here, so let's take a look at what the article says, guys. John and Kate's marriage is done, her brother Kevin Kreider says in an explosive new interview. 6 months ago, Kate came to John and said, hey, it's over. Kreider32 tells RadarOnline.com. Confirming a similar sentiment, a source told US Weekly in our newest issue that's on stands now. Kreider also reiterates John fears that his wife of nearly 10 years was having an affair with her married bodyguard Steve Neal, that's exclusively reported by US. Kate has confessed she and John might split in the same interview. She says she's horrified by any allegations she and Neal are romantically involved, but TLC refuses to comment. John came to our door one day and told Kreider's wife Jody he suspects it's Steve the bodyguard, and he feels he's getting the bad rap. Kreider says he feels that Kate's not being faithful either. A source tells the newest issue of US Weekly that Kate and Neal, who flew to a promotional appearance in Michigan together last night from Maryland, have a very physical relationship. At a recent public appearance, she was gently poking him, giving him little love pats, totally unlike the slapping she does with John. And Steve were joking around so much I actually wondered if they were having an affair, the source goes on. Although John has made some poor choices lately, he suspects that Kate has been unfaithful. It's a horrible thing to talk about, but it just paints how bad and how different reality is from the reality show. I'm not sure how close these two are, but it sounds like since he gave the report that he didn't like what was going on one bit. And who can blame him? If John came to her brother's house 6 months ago when the article was written, that would be December of 2008, which means she must have asked for the divorce sometime in November. Just going off of what I know, how suburban women and men operate in situations like this. The story doesn't stop here though, it gets even more interesting, because even after their separation and divorce in 2008 and 2009, they still had 8 children to look after. But due to parental alienation, John was unable to get in contact with his kids for a very long time. One day though, he received a letter from his son begging for help. He unfortunately had been put in a mental facility wrongly because he was difficult to deal with. Being the father that he is, John jumped into action and exhausted every means necessary to save his son. Slander and allegations were thrown around from news outlets in the year 2009, painting John to be a liar and a cheater. But unknown to them in the world, he was already separated and divorced by that time. It became a turbulent time because on TV he was a husband, but out here in these streets he was having freak-offs with 3 different women. Well, I don't know, that may be a little too soon to make that joke, no diddy. But nonetheless, tabloids were ruthless in trying to hold him accountable. As we talked about earlier, John was experiencing parental alienation, which is common in suburban households. My pops even experienced it as well. Parental alienation is when a child refuses to have a relationship with the parent due to manipulation, such as conveying of exaggerated or false information by the other parent. The situation often arises during a divorce or custody battle, but it can happen in intact families as well. In an article written by CBS News, Colin, John's son, says the reality show ruined his life. Let's read the article. One of John and Kate Gosselin's 8 children has opened up about his estrangement from his mother and how the family reality TV show John and Kate Plus 8 affected their lives. Colin Gosselin, one of the couple's sextuplets, said in an interview with ET that reality TV tore them apart. Kate has said in the past Colin went into an institution for his special needs, quote unquote. According to E.T., Colin said he stayed there for 3 years before going to live with his dad. After being there, I didn't have a relationship with her. Even before that, I don't think we had much of a relationship because of TV and what being in the public eye did to our family. I think it tore us apart, Colin told E.T.'s Kevin Frazier. He said he later built his relationship with his dad and fellow sextuplet Hannah. Colin and Hannah lived with their dad for several years, while the other sextuplets Joel, Aiden, Alexis, and Leah, now 18, and twins Kara and Maddie, now 22, continue to live with their mom. Hannah, I would do anything for my sister and I love her to death, Colin said. She was a big part of my emotional support. He said he hopes he can build relationships with his other siblings. I haven't reached out to them. I want to respect their space. I'd rather let them do it on their own terms, he told E.T. Colin said he recently fell asleep at the wheel while driving, got into a car accident that almost took his life, and he decided it was now or never to give an interview. The high school senior explained that he was tired from work and school when the accident occurred. In a previous interview with E.T., Hannah opened up about why she decided to live with her dad. I have always been closer with my dad, and we've always had a strong and good relationship, she said in May. It's a lot growing up in a very busy household with lots of kids, and there's not really a one-on-one relationship for attention that you have with your parent. I felt like my dad gave me that attention and a feeling like I had a good, solid relationship with the parent. In 2020, John told E.T. he and Kate had been embroiled in a 12-year custody battle. He said Hannah first came to live with him at age 12, and he later got a primary custody of her and then Colin. He spent about $1.3 million during the long court battle. Kate Gosselin has managed to keep a low profile in recent years, rarely speaking to the press or posting on social media. She and her children have appeared in several reality shows in addition to their own. The family was on an episode of Celebrity Wife Swap in 2013, and Kate competed on Dancing with the Stars in 2010. When asked, Colin said he hopes to have her latest foray into reality TV, Fox's Special Forces, will teach her some things that she'll learn about herself. So a lot of you guys are looking at that story like, this is absolutely insane, and it is. But honestly, it's really not that surprising because, I mean, we've all dealt with situations like that. Listen, you guys know I grew up in the suburbs, and I see this all the time. They're called starter marriages. And as soon as the husband or the person who they're married to doesn't want to go along with their plans, they toss them to the side. And that's okay, right? But who's really suffering is the kids, and I definitely wanted to keep the focus on the kids. Right now, they're adults. They're all grown. They're doing their thing in college and everything like that. They're a few years younger than me, and I'm glad they're doing well, but I think they still don't have a relationship with their father, which is troublesome to say the least. But anyways, you guys got to tell me what you guys' thoughts are on the video that you just saw. Comment your thoughts down below. Was this wrong? How was this documentary? Things like that. And let me know also what you guys want to see next week as well. I love you. It's been fun rocking with y'all. Peace. I'm out.